Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Zylophone and Apocalypse on Ruins of Seras. Whoa, let's not do that. There we go. In the bottom left of Ruins of Seras, we have the red Terran player. It is Zylophone, representing INGT and a cow. What an adorable cow that is. Aww. And in the top right of Ruins of Seras, we have the blue Protoss player representing the kind of washed out logo. Team Ascension, it is Apocalypse. Alright, so this is a GM level game. Submit it to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. You too can submit your replays to that address if they're GM or Master level. Just label them as such and I'll give them a look. Won't promise I'll cast them because I do get a lot of those, but if they are good, they will get featured on my channel. Also, if you have a lower level game, bronze or silver, go ahead and send it to falconpaladin@gmail.com labeled Into the Void if it's a fun game, if it's an interesting game. If there's something about it you haven't seen before, or it was kind of close and down to the wire like a base race, send it over especially. And if you are somewhere in the middle of gold to diamond, which is a lot of people, send it to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the tag of mid-rank madness. And I'll cast one of those a week as well. So everyone's covered, everybody's happy. Let's take a look at this game. So a PvT here on Ruins of Seras. Haven't done a PvT in a while. I guess I did cast one with Heartless just a couple days ago, so maybe that is not entirely true. But Gateway Expand coming up for Apocalypse on a 4-base map. That's pretty standard, I'd have to say. Nothing really weird about it at all. And a 1-Rax Expand for Zylophone. Yep, getting some minerals, saving up them mineral count. 40, 50, a little bit off on the timing, but that's a-okay. Both these players are super top-notch, and I'm very happy to be casting them. Cybernetics Core on the way. There it is. Going to wait for that Cyber Core to finish before making some Adepts, because obviously it's going to be Adepts. Adepts are so good in PvT. They two-shot Marines. They two-shot SCVs. There was a game last week. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was Bomber versus somebody I'd never heard of before. And I think the Protoss player just straight up went Adepts and nothing but Adepts against Terran and won. I mean, against Bomber and won. It's not just against Terran. And it kind of made people say, you know what, Adepts need to be nerfed. We need to make some changes here. They're way too overpowered. So we'll see maybe if that's what Apocalypse is going to go for here, but somehow I doubt it. Here comes the Reaper moving across the map as fast as his little jetpack will take him, his legs dangling in the breeze, saying, hey, SCV, thanks for scouting things out for me, buddy. No problem. Go in there and don't die. You got it, buddy. And checking out this Nexus, no workers there, obviously, but a Mothership Core with Photon Overcharge. Oh no! Oh no, walks right past the pylon. That's something you have to watch out for if you're a Reaper. Walking past a pylon. I know, it seems innocuous. It seems like it's just spinning there and looking pretty, but no way, Jose. That thing gets Photon Overcharge. It will basically 3-shot you as a Reaper. With a Mothership Core additionally raining down fire from above, you will die very quickly, as that Reaper experienced. So here comes the Adept for Apocalypse. It has the Purifier skin, as you can see, with the orange and the gray and the blue. That's something you do if you own the Collector's Edition of Legacy of the Void. So Apocalypse, dedicated to this game, man, went for the Collector's Edition. We can all see how much he loves this game. SCV, die. Yep, there's the 2-shot. And what's here to deal with this? 2 Marines, 4 Marines. 2 Marines, not enough. 4 Marines might be, depending on their micro, if it's good. We'll have to see. So here comes the Adept. And it does 2-shot Marines, but again, takes shots as well. So 1 shot. Oh, good micro. Moving the wounded one back. And the Adept says, you know what? This is not where I want to be. I'm going to send a Shade on out. You're going to be forced to chase the Shade and give me enough time to escape. Oh, the Shade fake out. So good. Another Adept shows up to the party, but more Marines come as well. So I don't know. 2 Adepts versus this many Marines. Put your bets. Who's going to win this battle? I think the Marines have it. They're going to... Are they even going to try? I don't know. Yeah, going to go for it. Here it is. 1 Marine falls. 2 Marines fall. And yeah, I think the Adepts are just out of here. There's no way. With the extra Marines that came down that ramp, way too much. The Adept's not able to get there. So this is something that Terran players are doing fairly frequently now, is getting a bunch of Marines out to deal with those Adepts. If you have enough of them, they're okay. It's kind of like Lings. If it's a small number of Lings versus a small number of Adepts, you're pretty much going to lose that. But if you get a full surround on the Adepts with your Lings, they can't move. They can't sonic transfer away. Yes, they will kill Lings, but they will die themselves as well. Same thing with the Marines. You'll lose some Marines, but they can over DPS the Adepts, and then you're okay. So Terran players, maybe you can mimic this as well. Both players, about over 150 APM. Zylophone playing like crazy, 300 plus APM. Apocalypse around 250 right now of his own. Again, GM level stuff, not quite pro, but also very exciting as far as I'm concerned. Stalkers and sentries coming down that ramp here for defense. Again, photon overcharge pylons sitting out in the front as well. Observer on the way for Apocalypse, and a Forge. He is also researching Blink. Terran player continuing to get barracks. Barracks, 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 starport, barracks, factory, and a third command center. Whoa, whoa, Zylophone. Bit of an early third there, especially against the harassment that Apocalypse was showing early. But you know what? He says, I am a macro player. I can do this. I can hold off aggression while going for a third command center. There's nothing that Apocalypse can do to stop me. Small group here, just playing defense. Again, worried about a counterattack from those Marines. And I think this is a pretty good composition against the Marines. Some force fields to move some of the Marines back. Adepts doing a lot of the DPS and the tanking. Stalkers killing as well. Meanwhile, Warp Prism. Apocalypse has a Warp Prism along the bottom side of the map. Apocalypse is also getting +1/+1 on his ground units and Blink. And an Immortal. Immortal's so good in PvT. So good against tanks. So good against Marauders. Maybe not the greatest against Marines, but, you know, there are more than Marines on the field right now. Zylophone is getting Combat Shield and Stim. Those, oh, so important upgrades. You never see a Terran leave home without them. Okay, maybe sometimes in the early game they leave home without them, but after about the 5 or 6 minute mark, no. Definitely too scary to do that. Adepts, yep, straight up Adepts inside this Warp Prism, just kind of hanging out. I'm not sure what, I guess Apocalypse was busy dealing with that Marine. Poor guy, Fountain of Blood. Is that another Adept versus Marine battle? It is. Oh, don't send a Marine to an Adept battle, man. Not one-on-one. It's just, it's sad. It's a sad outcome. Look at that, though. Income, 58 to 54 Harvesters. Zylophone in the lead. Income tab shows us, whoa, 2,200 minerals to 1,400. 400 gas for both these guys, but Xylophone's mineral income is through the roof. And he has the production to keep up with it here. He is making more and more Marines. A very Marine-heavy composition with tanks. Some Marines and tanks and flying tanks inside of medevacs, or outside of medevacs, rather. Warp Prism comes in, and there's really nothing here. I mean, the army is about 4 inches away, so you'll land your Adepts here. They kill a couple workers. They probably get wiped out, but we're going to try it anyway. Here come the Adepts killing SCVs. SCVs are dying. Wow, the SCV massacre has begun, and I think it's a time to run. Ready, set, go! Run! Yeah, that's how you do. Protoss players, that's how you do. The army heading back on up. Did I miss a drop of some kind? I don't know. Apocalypse is running home. That's okay. Third Nexus is just about complete, maybe 80% here for Apocalypse. Still holding the Xel'Naga Watchtowers, and it's 125 to 114 total supply. Zylophone playing this strong, playing this good. Marine count looking fantastic as well. +1/+1 just about to finish on those guys, or +1 attack rather, not really worrying about the armor. Apocalypse going for Disruptors. It's a good choice, especially against Marines and Marauders, just because a single Purification Nova one-shots about this group right here. No problem at all. Probably bigger, depending on how they're arraigned. Psionic Transfer being used again, heading on out across the stratosphere. We're going to zoom out to take a look at this. Stalkers getting shots on that orbital command, and if the Immortal gets in here too, that's going to be a problem. Forcing a liftoff. Can he kill it? It's just burning, but the SCVs might be able to repair it here. Guardian Shield coming up. Force Field's kind of haphazard here. Marines getting an amazing concave. All those Adepts. Oh no, the Warp Prism tried to warp in units. Did not happen at all. The Marines just standing on in, refusing to die. Getting rid of all these Stalkers, all of these Adepts. Wow, Liberator here not doing much at all. Either the final Stalker trying to escape. Will it? Oh my gosh, it manages to escape with 3 hit points, but that was a massacre. Ladies and gentlemen, taking care of that Warp Prism was a huge deal. Reinforcements were not able to come in to help Apocalypse. Maybe warping in back here might have been better, but in the end, those Marines were strong. Maybe he should have waited for his Disruptors, at least to force the Marines back. There it is, Purification Nova, but Disruptor on its own, not a good feeling. A little bit too slow there. Move speed up, 3.15. Blah. Ends up getting destroyed here. Another Nova comes in. That's much better. There we go. Picking up a few Marines, forcing them to run at the very least. And split up Marines, not the best. However, double Defender mode circles chasing everybody back. Double Photon Overcharge here as well. And Marines, Marauders, tanks. No, don't walk in there, silly goose. Oh, forcing an Adept. That Adept got pushed into the air, didn't it? Nova comes in again. Oh, no! Huge Nova hit. 11 kills on that Disruptor. Oh, boy, Zylophone. Oh, that hurt. That hurt me, and I don't even play Terran. Yeah, that helped Apocalypse get back into this game. Stalker is going to now on the offensive, chasing these Marines on home. The Marines don't even stop to fight. Another blink forward. A lot of Marines have died. It is 110 to 120 total supply. Apocalypse now in the lead, 64 to 56 Harvesters. Third Nexus was not ever really seriously threatened, but at the same time, that Purification Nova, man, that was a good one. Haven't seen it hit that good in a long time, it feels like. Barracks, barracks, barracks. It's going to be Marines and Marauders all day, ladies and gentlemen. Cyclone mixed in here, though. How many are there on the field? The answer is total number of 1. 1 Cyclone. Ha, ha, ha. 2 Cyclone. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, you don't actually ever see 2. And seeing a Cyclone this late is kind of weird, too. It's good against preventing Warp Prism drops in the early game, but kind of as part of your army, not the most effective thing I've ever seen. Stimming forward again. Purification Novas are out. Defender Mode Circles are out, too. And Apocalypse decides to back on out. He does not want to engage here. It's a pretty narrow choke. Nova comes on in, doesn't hit much of anything. The range isn't that far. Cyclone ready to go, though. Ready and raring to use lock-on mode, and it does. Using lock-on mode. Nope, now getting chased away. Did he actually kill one of those Disruptors? No, no kills. No kills on the Disruptor. What did they get then? I don't know. Apocalypse getting +2 attack, +2 armor for his ground units. Another Disruptor here. Disruptor count is up to 3. Soon to be 4. And a Stargate coming up for Apocalypse. Sorry, Cyclone. Pieces get exploded into the air. Flaming fire. Stim around to the right side here from Zylophone. Marines and Marauders. Nova coming in again and catching a bunch of Marines. Oh, Defender Mode Circles. Another Nova. Another hit. Not the greatest one I've ever seen in my entire life, but another Nova. See, and what this does is prevents Terran from running up to you and killing you, right? If you're Protoss, you send the Novas out. It zones out the Marines and the Marauders. They can't press forward. They have to retreat. Although I have seen instances, at least in PvP, where you just blink forward your Stalkers past the Purification Novas on top of your opponent's army. And not as effective here. They do catch a Disruptor out of position and kill it, though. Another Nova comes on in, and oh no! Running into it there was Zylophone. There's actually a bug in StarCraft 2. Somebody mentioned on Reddit the other day, where if you're, if you send a Purification Nova into the sight range of Marines and Marauders, they will attack into it. They see it as an enemy, and they will attack move into it unless they're on hold position and die. It's the weirdest, dumbest thing I've ever seen. Coming from the bottom side here, more Novas catching. Ah, big hit. Big hit with the Nova. Another Nova. Oh, no. Big stinking Nova there, too. Oh, my goodness gracious. Are there enough Stalkers here, though, to take out the Liberator? That's a nice job, but forced to retreat from the Liberator once again. Marine Marauder versus Adept Stalker. With the tank support, I feel like maybe Zylophone has it there. Stalkers, again, are +2. Oh, +3 rather. I apologize. That was +3 that he got. Nicely done indeed. Chasing these units on home. Zealots are pretty much intended to soak up damage and not much else. 4th Nexus on the way. 4th Command Center being morphed into an orbital command, rather, a planetary fortress. So it's 68 to 68 workers, 165 to 158 total supply, effectively even. And here come the Tempest. Tempest being a good answer. 2 Liberators. Idle probes. Idle probes. Apocalypse. Get your idle probes. There we go. Get them to work somewhere. They're probably going to transfer on over here. And indeed they are. Pushing on out here. It's a big map. It's a long way to go. It's a long trek with your Marine and Marauder buddies. +2 on those guys. +3 attack is on the way. +3 armor, not a concern right now. High ground advantage, though, for Apocalypse. If he had some Tempest, he could probably snipe off a couple medevacs. Not quite yet, though. Templar Archives on the way for Apocalypse as well. Recognizing he's on the low ground, Zylophone seeks to rectify this. He's going to head up to the high ground himself, maybe take the Selnaga Watchtower. Free Marine. Blorp. More Liberators, more tanks, more Marines, more Marauders. +3 infantry weapons, about 30% done. And Storm on the way, as well as High Templar. All right, we're going to see Storm and Disruptors and Tempest here. Stimming forward again. Purification Nova killing a bunch of stuff. It's not quite enough, though. Disruptors in the front lines taking shots. Backing on out. No! Getting focused down. Defender Mode Circles. Tempest trying to get rid of these Liberators. It just, the attack speed is too low. You need more Tempest to do that effectively. Pushing his advantage is Zylophone. Moving on up. Is he going to make this work? Blink Stalkers. Zealots in the front. Double Photon Overcharge. Forcing people away. Getting rid of a medevac. This one very low in health as well, down to 28 hit points and 7 energy. So again, both players are able to get up here and pressure the other player, but nobody's really been able to kill much of anything. to this point. I don't think a single Nexus or Command Center has been lost. No, it has not. Zealots charging in forward. They're not really using charge, though. That's kind of a misnomer there. Stalkers trying to kill everything they can. Templar not ready to go. I'm not sure why they were there. Storm isn't researched yet. Tempest, there we go, taking out yet another Liberator. Boom. Exactly what they are intended for. Getting rid of this medevac would be awesome. Can they get it? No, boosting away. Oh, he does get it. He barely gets inside the range of that Tempest. Loses the medevac with the tank on top of it. Big, big problem. Zylophone Watchtower now belongs to Zylophone for about half a second there. Stalkers getting rid of Marines and Marauders. Liberators with Defender mode circles hanging out over here for reasons unknown. I think they probably had a good idea. Maybe they were... Maybe they were part of a control group. I don't know. Apocalypse is now going for charge. Is that +2 shields? It is. Protoss shields level 2. Haven't seen that a whole lot in my StarCraft 2 casting days, but that's... Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. 5th base on the way for Zylophone. Is there a 5th Nexus anywhere? The answer is no. I don't see one in the production tab. I don't see one on the mini-map. Going for it, though, is Apocalypse. Where are his Templar? Are they down there? Yeah, they're right underneath the Tempest. They're very hard to see that way, but you can kind of see their glowy capes, which makes them what they are. Okay, big storms are going to be a big deal here. No disruptors at all. And here it is. Are there storms going to happen? No, there's a storm. Big top of everybody there. The Liberators using their anti-air mode against the Tempest as well. Marines and Marauders just stimming on through, killing a Tempest. Another storm greatly weakening them. Another storm killing a whole bunch of stuff. Wow. Wow. Oh, no. Disruptor, I think, was trying to come down there and just got killed. Wrong place there. Wrong place, buddy. Any more storms available? Yeah. More storms available, but it's 162 to 137 total supply. Continuing with the Marines and the Marauders and the tanks. Do we see Liberators still going for those? Not really. Production tab doesn't show any more of those. I think Zylophone has abandoned that particular attack. Planetary Fortress mining happily over here. Another big attack. Another big group of storms. So much bio is dying. Blanket storms. Wow, but is it enough? No, it's not. The ground number gets completely cleaned up. More Stalkers come from the right side, trying to kill these guys. Archons absolutely one-shotting these very weak Marines and Marauders, but more reinforcements come on in. The Archons fall almost immediately. Stalkers trying to stand on in. They normally wouldn't do this, but these guys are so low on health. Another Tempest falls to the left, and again, Apocalypse is forced to retreat. He has a 5th base just now morphing on in, warping on in, holding the Zylophone Watchtower. Hopefully that is an early warning system for him. But again, so many units have died, so many Marines. 244 Marines have died in this game. 244, 26 Marauders, 10 tanks. Wow. Meanwhile, Apocalypse has lost 34 Adepts, 36 Stalkers, 7 Disruptors, and 3 Tempests, and 2 Archons, 48 Zealots. I just feel like resources lost tab. Yeah, Terrans lost 19,600 minerals, 4,100 gas. Apocalypse has lost 16,000 minerals and 6,800 gas. So that makes sense. Terran versus Protoss. Darn, wrong button again. Not the Windows key. So embarrassing. There it is. And it's gone. Coming forward again, Zylophone is a good Terran. He knows you need to push the advantage whenever you can. 6th base here for Zylophone. Single Zealot. Single Zealot up to 2 kills, up to 3 kills. Stimming in, though, is Zylophone. This Nexus is not long for the world. The army is a bit out of position. Nexus falls. A bunch of workers die here as well. Coming from the backside, trying to save it, is Apocalypse. Big, big storm, forcing everybody back, storming most of his Zealots. More than anything else here. Another blanket of storms. Dodging it as best as he can is Zylophone, and forced to retreat down, happily having killed that base and saved this one. But a lot of SCVs have died, man. 24 SCVs have been killed in this game. 9 probes, most of that back there on that battle here. Slow warping of Zealots because this pylon is not touching a gateway or a Nexus. And it's 131 to 115 total supply. Very, very low econ game here. Maybe not low econ, but just low army size. Nobody has been really able to get maxed out to this point. Another orbital command center. Gonna land over here. This is 1, 2, 3. Another big attack. Zealots, again, just kind of retreating on home. They do have charge, and they're very hard to kill because they are 3 armor, 4 armor with their base armor of 1 and armor level 2 on their plasma shields. Yeah, just tough to kill. Big damage soaking machines. Indeed they are. Look at this. Just getting through these Marines, these Marauders. And big Marine group here. Big storm on the Marines, though. Storm on the right side, 2 Zealots. slowly getting cleaned up, but killing a ton of stuff as well. Marines refuse to die in Apocalypse is defeated with the Rage Quit. Xylophone's victorious and Apocalypse has left the game. So nicely done by Zylophone there. Excellent representation of the Terran army. The expansions, fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases. 7 bases against Protoss versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here he did lose this one as well. Apocalypse recognized that he was down. He was out 126 to 67 total supply. He only had a Zealot and an Adept remaining, maybe 500 minerals in the bank. Yeah, tough to say. I'm not sure if he knew about these bases. I think that Zealot might have known. Oh, he did. He did know about all those bases. Okay, that probably contributed to his decision to tap out when he did. So good job by you. And that's it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thanks for watching, and you take care of yourself.